Every motorcycle salesman talks about performance and features, but none mention the brutal truth about depreciation. What if I told you that your dream bike will destroy your financial future faster than any gambling addiction ever could? That's not dramatic. Poor resale value ruins more riders financially than maintenance costs do. Imagine finally buying that bike you've saved for years, only discover that it's worth half what you paid the moment you ride it home. In this video, I'm exposing the 20 motorcycles that will bankrupt you in 2025. And trust me, the number one choice will blow your mind. It's so financially toxic that dealers literally call it junk to avoid selling it. Watch every second, because this isn't just a review, it's the difference between smart motorcycle ownership or becoming another victim of catastrophic depreciation. Number 20, Indian Chief Darkhorse. Starting our countdown at number 20, we have the Indian Chief Darkhorse, a bike that proves expensive doesn't mean valuable. With an original price of $18,499, this premium cruiser loses value faster than ice melts in summer, demonstrating how luxury motorcycle marketing can become a financial nightmare for unsuspecting buyers. The Chief Darkhorse suffers from what economists call luxury depreciation syndrome. When manufacturers charge premium prices for a motorcycle, buyers naturally expect premium resale value to match. Instead, owners discover that competition from other big cruisers creates a brutal used market, where their expensive bike becomes just another overpriced option, gathering dust in showrooms. What makes the Chief Darkhorse particularly devastating for resale value is its positioning in the premium cruiser segment, where buyers have endless alternatives. Harley-Davidson's Road King, Street Glide, and other established touring cruisers dominate the used market, making the Indian a second-choice option that commands significantly lower prices. The bike's premium features and craftsmanship become meaningless when potential buyers can find equally impressive alternatives with better brand recognition and stronger dealer networks. Indian's smaller market presence means fewer service locations and lower buyer confidence, translating directly to reduced resale demand and accelerated depreciation. Number 19, KTM 390 Duke. The KTM 390 Duke takes number 19 for being too exciting for its own good. Originally priced at $5,699, this entry-level naked bike creates its own depreciation problem by being so engaging that riders quickly outgrow it, creating a vicious cycle of rapid ownership turnover that destroys resale value. The 390 Duke's performance is actually its curse in the used motorcycle market. New riders buy it attracted by KTM's racing heritage and aggressive styling, fall in love with motorcycling through its responsive handling and peppy engine, then immediately want something bigger and more powerful. This creates a constant flood of barely used bikes hitting the used market as owners upgrade to larger KTMs, like the 790 Duke or Super Duke models. The bike's Austrian engineering and race-bred DNA attract performance-oriented riders who quickly realize they want more displacement and power. KTM's own success with larger displacement models creates internal competition that hurts the 390's resale prospects. Why buy a used 390 Duke when a slightly more expensive 790 Duke offers significantly more performance? Number 18, Royal Enfield Himalayan. At number 18, we have the Royal Enfield Himalayan, originally priced at $5,299, but now struggling to maintain any meaningful value in the competitive adventure bike market. This adventure bike's budget appeal becomes its downfall in the resale market, where perception of quality matters more than actual capability. The Himalayan's basic features and modest power create a perception problem that devastates resale value. Adventure riders who buy it quickly realize they need more refinement and capability for serious touring or off-road adventures. The result is a used market flooded with bikes from disappointed owners seeking upgrades to more capable machines, like BMW's GS series or KTM's Adventure line. The bike's positioning as a budget adventure option creates a stigma that follows it into the used market. Potential buyers view it as the choice for riders who couldn't afford something better, rather than a legitimate alternative to premium adventure bikes. This perception problem translates directly to poor resale values and rapid depreciation. Additionally, Royal Enfield's limited dealer network in the United States means fewer service options and lower buyer confidence, further reducing demand in the used market. Adventure riders prioritize reliability and service support, both areas where the Himalayan struggles against established competition. Number 17. Kawasaki Z125 Pro. The Kawasaki Z125 Pro claims number 17 for being too niche for its own good in the American motorcycle market. Originally priced at $3,399, this novelty bike with its tiny 125cc engine appeals to almost nobody in the used market, creating a depreciation disaster that makes owners question their purchasing decisions. The Z125 Pro occupies a strange space between toy and transportation that satisfies neither market segment effectively. Riders who want fun buy bigger bikes with more power and presence, while those seeking practicality choose scooters or larger motorcycles that can handle highway speeds. This leaves the Z125 Pro in a depreciation no man's land, where potential buyers can't figure out why they would need it. The Z125 Pro proves that being different doesn't guarantee being desirable in the used motorcycle market. Its unique positioning as a mini sport bike attracts initial curiosity but fails to create lasting appeal. Owners quickly discover that the novelty wears off when they realize the bike's severe limitations in real-world riding scenarios. The bike's tiny size also creates storage and presence issues that affects its appeal. In a market where motorcycles serve as expressions of personality and freedom, the Z125 Pro's diminutive stature fails to deliver the commanding presence that many riders seek. Number 16. Yamaha MT3. Number 16 goes to the Yamaha MT3, originally priced at $4,999, but now suffering from the entry-level naked bike curse that destroys resale value. Riders outgrow its limited power quickly, flooding the used market with abandoned bikes from owners who've moved on to more substantial machines. The MT3 shares components with the YZF FR3, which means double the supply of similar bikes hitting the used market from both the naked and sport bike segments. This oversupply creates a depreciation spiral where prices keep falling as more riders upgrade to more powerful machines, leaving previous owners holding rapidly depreciating assets. Fun for beginners becomes meaningless when those beginners move on within months of ownership. The MT3's rapid obsolescence in owners' garages translates directly to rapid value loss in the marketplace, where buyers can choose from numerous barely used examples at significantly reduced prices. The bike's 321cc engine feels adequate for new riders, but quickly becomes limiting as skills develop. Unlike larger displacement bikes that grow with the rider, the MT3 hits its performance ceiling early, forcing owners to consider upgrades sooner than they might prefer. This natural progression creates constant turnover in ownership. Number 15. Suzuki Boulevard S40. The Suzuki Boulevard S40 takes number 15 for suffering from both age and oversupply in the American cruiser market. Originally priced at $5,799, this cruiser's extraordinarily long production run from 1986 to present has flooded the market with used examples spanning nearly 4 decades of production, creating a depreciation nightmare for anyone trying to sell. Its 652cc engine lacks the appeal that drives cruiser sales in America, where bigger is typically considered better. The S40's modest displacement feels inadequate compared to the 1,200cc, 1,600cc, and larger engines that dominate the cruiser segment. While basic features make it reliable, they also make it feel outdated compared to modern alternatives loaded with technology and comfort features. Decades of continuous production mean used S40s are everywhere, from every era of its production run. This massive supply drives prices down to levels that make them nearly worthless, as buyers can choose from examples spanning multiple decades at rock-down prices. The Boulevard S40 proves that longevity in production can create short-term value destruction through market oversaturation. The S40's positioning as a budget cruiser option also creates perception problems in the used market. Cruiser buyers often want presence and displacement, viewing smaller engines as compromises rather than choices. This perception follows the S40 throughout its depreciation curve, limiting demand to the smallest segment of the cruiser market. Number 14. Honda CBR 500R. At number 14 we have the Honda CBR 500R, originally priced at $6,999, but cursed with mid-range mediocrity that kills resale value. Its balanced performance becomes a liability when riders realize they want more excitement, creating a depreciation problem that Honda's legendary reliability can't solve. The CBR 500R occupies the dangerous middle ground between beginner and experienced rider bikes, a position that satisfies nobody in the used market. New riders find it intimidating while experienced riders find it boring, creating weak demand that drives down resale values. This narrow appeal creates a fundamental problem in the used motorcycle market, where broad appeal drives strong resale values. Reliability doesn't matter when nobody wants to buy your bike at any reasonable price. The CBR 500R's dependable reputation can't overcome the fact that it fails to inspire passion in either direction, making it depreciation poison despite Honda's excellent engineering and build quality. Honda's attempt to create a do-everything sport bike results in a machine that does nothing exceptionally well. The 471cc engine provides adequate power, but lacks the excitement of larger sport bikes or the approachability of smaller ones. This middle ground positioning becomes a resale curse when buyers prefer bikes with more defined personalities. The CBR 500R's decade-long production run has also contributed to market oversaturation, with reliable examples available across multiple model years, competing for the same small pool of interested buyers. Number 13. HarleyDavidson Sportster883. HarleyDavidson Sportster883 claims number 13, despite its iconic status and legendary heritage. Originally priced at $9,999, this legendary bike suffers from internal competition and market oversaturation that even the Harley-Davidson badge can't overcome in the brutal world of motorcycle depreciation. Sportster 1200 makes the 883 look inadequate in direct comparison, creating an internal competition problem that hurts resale values. When potential buyers can get significantly more power and torque for a relatively small price increase, the 883 becomes the budget choice that nobody really wants. This positioning problem follows the bike throughout its depreciation curve. Decades of continuous production have created a used market flooded with examples from every era of Sportster evolution. Harley riders outgrow the 883's power quickly, treating it as a stepping stone rather than a destination motorcycle. This constant turnover creates an endless supply of used examples that drives down prices across all model years. The Sportster 883's role as an entry-level Harley creates perception problems that affect resale value. Experienced Harley riders view it as a beginner bike, while beginners often aspire to larger displacement models. This positioning leaves the 883 in a market segment where it's always seen as a compromise. 883's iron engine, while reliable, feels underpowered compared to modern expectations and even other motorcycles in its price range. This performance limitation becomes magnified in the used market, where buyers compare actual capability rather than brand heritage. Number 12. Ducati Monster 797. Number 12 belongs to the Ducati Monster 797, originally priced at $9,295 but discontinued in 2020 for good reason. This naked bike lacked the power and features that Monster buyers expected. Ducati buyers want performance and prestige, but the 797 delivered neither adequately. Owners quickly realized they could get more powerful monsters for not much more money, making the 797 seem like a mistake. Discontinuation after just 3 years signals market rejection that translates directly to poor resale value. The Monster 797 proves that even Italian styling can't overcome fundamental positioning problems. Number 11. BMW G310 GS. The BMW G310 GS takes number 11 for being a stepping stone that nobody wants to step on twice. Originally priced at $6,290, this entry-level adventure bike suffers from BMW's own success with larger models. The G310 GS's tiny 313cc engine feels inadequate for adventure riding, making it seem like a toy compared to the F850 GS or R1250 GS. Buyers treat it as training wheels for real BMW adventure bikes. Being reliable doesn't help when your own manufacturer makes bikes that make you look inadequate. The G310 GS's depreciation reflects its position as a compromise nobody wants to keep. Number 10. Kawasaki Ninja 400. At number 10, we have the Kawasaki Ninja 400, originally priced at $5,199, but suffering from entry-level sport bike syndrome. Its 399cc engine is quickly outgrown by riders seeking real performance. The Ninja 400's affordability makes it common, while its entry-level status makes it temporary. Riders use it to learn, then immediately upgrade to 600cc or larger sport bikes. This creates a flood of used examples that drives prices down. Being praised for handling doesn't matter when that handling is just preparation for buying something faster. The Ninja 400's role as a training bike makes its depreciation inevitable. If you're seeing the pattern here and want to avoid these depreciation disasters, make sure you subscribe, because the next 10 bikes will show you how even prestigious brands can create worthless motorcycles. Number 9. Suzuki SV 650. The Suzuki SV 650 claims number 9 despite being highly regarded for versatility. Originally priced at $7,399, this popular bike creates its own depreciation problem through oversupply. The SV 650's reputation as the perfect starter bike means constant turnover as new riders buy them, learn on them, then sell them for something more exciting. This endless cycle floods the used market with examples. Reliability and versatility can't overcome simple economics. When supply vastly exceeds demand because everyone is selling to upgrade, prices collapse regardless of the bike's actual quality. Number 8. Indian Scout 60. Number 8 goes to the Indian Scout 60, originally priced at $9,499, but perceived as the budget version of something better. Its 999cc engine feels less compelling compared to the full Scout's 1,133cc power plant. Enthusiasts see the Scout 60 as the stripped-down model and immediately want the real thing. This creates a market dynamic where the 60 is always the compromise choice, driving down demand and resale value. Being the cheaper option doesn't create value when buyers perceive you as the lesser choice. The Scout 60's positioning as the budget Scout makes it depreciation poison. Number 7. Triumph Bonavville T100. The Triumph Bonavville T100 takes number 7 for being overshadowed by its own family. Originally priced at $10,450, this retro bike faces internal competition from higher-spec Bonavville variants. Triumph's success with the Bonavville line backfires on the T100, as buyers can get models with better features and modern technology for marginally more money. The T100 becomes the old-fashioned choice in a line of retro bikes. Classic styling can't overcome the availability of better-equipped alternatives. The T100's depreciation reflects its position as the entry-level model in a premium line. Number 6. Honda Rebel 300. At number 6, we have the Honda Rebel 300, originally priced at $4,699, but cursed with an engine that riders outgrow immediately. Its 286cc power plant feels inadequate almost from day one. The Rebel 300's beginner-friendly design becomes a liability when those beginners realize they need more power for highway riding or longer trips. Its limited appeal in the used market reflects this rapid obsolescence. Simplicity makes it a great starter bike but a terrible keeper. The Rebel 300's depreciation reflects its role as a temporary solution to transportation needs. Number 5. Yamaha YZF FR3. The Yamaha YZF FR3 claims number 5 for being too popular for its own good. Originally priced at $5,299, this beginner sport bike's success creates its depreciation problem. High-volume sales mean high-volume resales as riders upgrade to larger sport bikes. The used market becomes flooded with barely used R3s from owners who've moved on to 600cc or 1000cc machines. Early models had suspension issues that, while not widespread, create buyer hesitation in the used market. The R3's popularity as a learning bike makes it common and therefore cheap. Number 4. Ducati Scrambler 62. Number 4 belongs to the Ducati Scrambler 62, originally priced at $7,995, killed by its own inadequacy. The 399cc engine offers less performance than enthusiasts expect from the Ducati badge. Ducati buyers want performance and prestige, but the 62 delivered neither convincingly. Riders found it stylish but underpowered, leading to quick upgrades in a flooded used market. Discontinuation in 2020 signals market rejection that devastates resale value. The 62 proves that putting a premium badge on an entry-level bike doesn't create premium resale value. Number 3. Kawasaki Vulcan S. The Kawasaki Vulcan S takes number 3 for failing to compete in the cruiser market, despite modern design. Originally priced at $7,199, this bike faces brutal competition from established cruiser brands. The Vulcan SS 649cc engine lacks the displacement and presence that cruiser buyers demand. Riders appreciate its lightweight design but ultimately want the rumble and torque of bigger engines. Modern styling doesn't overcome traditional cruiser preferences. The Vulcan S's attempt to modernize the cruiser format creates a bike that satisfies neither traditional nor progressive riders. Number 2. Suzuki GSX 250R. At number 2, we have the Suzuki GSX 250R, originally priced at $4,599, but suffering from modest power and market saturation. Its 248cc engine is quickly outgrown by riders seeking real sport bike performance. The saturated used market for beginner sport bikes drives prices down as riders constantly upgrade to larger machines. A 2018 model with 7,000 miles listed at $4,350 shows how quickly these bikes lose value. Blue Book values suggest $3,815 for used examples, indicating significant depreciation from the original $4,500 MSRP. The GSX 250R's role as a stepping stone makes it worthless as an investment. Number 1. Harley-Davidson Street 500. Taking the number 1 spot as the most worthless motorcycle you can buy, we have the Harley-Davidson Street 500, originally priced at $6,899. This entry-level Harley represents everything wrong with badge engineering and cost-cutting, creating a depreciation disaster that destroys both money and dreams simultaneously. The Street 500 lacks the power and prestige that Harley buyers expect, while multiple recalls destroyed buyer confidence and resale value. Recalls for fuel pump issues affecting 10,580 units in 2015, and brake caliper corrosion affecting 12,871 units created safety concerns that follow the bike throughout its depreciation curve. Some dealers actually called it junk to upsell customers to more expensive models, revealing industry-wide recognition of the bike's problems. Used prices now range from $3,635 to $10,995, often below the original MSRP, showing catastrophic depreciation that makes stock market crashes look gentle. The bike's discontinuation in 2020 signals Harley's admission that the Street 500 was a fundamental mistake that damaged the brand's reputation, while emptying owners' wallets. What makes the Street 500 particularly worthless is that it fails to deliver the Harley-Davidson experience while carrying the Harley-Davidson price premium. Buyers expected American cruiser tradition, rumbling V-twin character, and highway presence, but received a bike that felt more like utilitarian transportation than inspirational freedom machine. The Street 500's liquid-cooled engine, while practical, lacks the air-cooled rumble that defines the Harley experience. Its modest power output feels inadequate for highway riding, limiting its usefulness in American riding conditions where highway capability is essential. The bike's small stature and quiet exhaust note fail to deliver the commanding presence that attracts people to the Harley brand. The bike's failure extends beyond simple depreciation into brand damage territory. Every disappointed Street 500 owner becomes a potential lost customer for life, making this motorcycle's true cost far higher than its purchase price. When your entry-level bike drives customers away instead of building loyalty, you've created something worse. Speaking of motorcycles that destroy value, some bikes are so dangerous they've been completely banned from roads. I reveal the shocking reasons why 13 specific motorcycles got outlawed in Why These 13 Motorcycles Got Banned, Too Dangerous. And trust me, some of these bans will absolutely blow your mind.